Is there always already a picture over there? I look like I was just abducted.
There's a picture
I'm
where
like,
you're like this. You're like,
yeah.
like someone was just about to snatch you.
It's
It's like a cliffhanger of a
it's
photo.
literally like your alien abduction mugshot. They put you in the ship and you're like, and they got you passing by.
That's what it's giving. But good
Welcome everyone
morning.
to the mothership.
We come in pieces.
I've been talking so much about aliens that they're either going to show up or section me soon. So
That's fine. Honestly, you and my dad both
I'm
probably.
I'm fine with either. And if Gary comes, are you
What a
kidding?
good time.
And what a well-round alien group they'll be. You know, if they get input from me and your like 60-year-old dad,
You'll cover all bases. You'll
it's like
cover all of the bases.
you'll know as much as like the unwanted guest at Thanksgiving. You know, that random
Exactly.
person that somebody brought. And they're not unwanted, you know, come as you are. But it's
But
also
you're like,
like,
who is you?
and you're like, who the fuck's gonna chat you up? Me and my dad.
It's not me. I'll tell you who is not going to be me. But that's something about us. And honestly, today, that is kind of what we're here to do. We've gotten a little bit of a flow of new listeners lately. And if you've been along for the ride for a while, we did separate About Me episodes how long ago? Like over a year, probably?
Years.
Year. It's
Years
been
ago.
84 years since we talked about
A
ourselves.
fortnight ago. No, that's not even long
Is this
enough.
just a reason to talk about ourselves? So like
No.
nobody.
So if you think about the pod like I do, because I have to think tangible and statistical, and like that's how I have to think sometimes to be rational. So if you think about the pod as a campfire, right? There was like, I don't know, 400 or so of us around the campfire for a while. And
Mm.
then all of a sudden, like three to 600 more people started showing up regular, regularly, you know, like they come and they go. They're not our camp.
Oh,
They're not
they're
our
like
base camp.
they didn't crash in our plane with us, but
But every once in a while they come for the stories and the songs. So we have to like explain to them a little backstory every once in a while. That's how I feel about the pod. I'm like, all right, we got to get back to our roots, give them some background, let them know that we're not like, I don't know, a cult starting a new country. Because if you only
no one
watch
said we
some
were.
episodes,
No one said we weren't. And nobody
no,
said
we
we
just want to
weren't.
let them know that's not all we
That's
are.
not
You
all we
know,
are.
we're not nurse
Exactly.
versus patient. We're not, we're well rounded,
I
you
think this
know,
is going really well. I
so
think this
we're
is going to
trying to
be really
convince
good.
the Rudies and the aliens that we're well rounded. So this,
When when we first started podcasting, there's no like no, I'm lying. There probably is a how to podcast book, let's be real. But Lauren and I aren't going to read
absolutely,
it.
there is. We didn't
So
read it.
so we were
We didn't
like
even read that book we told you guys we were going to read. We
we
started a book club
listen.
and then we never
No,
finished the
I
book.
read the books.
Okay. Okay. If one
And
person
that's
reads the
about
books,
us.
it's not a fucking book club,
And that's
okay?
about exactly. That's just a girl reading. So that's just a girl reading fairy smut repeatedly is what that is.
And me trying. So how the hell am I going to read
They're
a how
already
to
learning so
podcast
much
book?
about us.
The episode is doing its
But we
job.
tried to do when we first started, what I was saying was we didn't really like know how to go about it. So a lot of the time we'd be like making up frameworks for the episode and say like let's do this, this and this and this. So we kind of wanted to have like a fun segmenty episode today so that we could kind of stay on track and like
Yes.
go back to our roots. So that's what this is about today, friends.
One thing we noticed pretty early on is that we needed some bones because I was going to layer on a lot of fat and skin.
She was gonna
But
go over there. She's like, ah, she's over there. Every once in a
ah!
while, you're like, is it just Lauren's podcast? Where'd Steph go?
She's yelling.
She's shouting.
And then every once in a while you would like you would directly offend a family member. You'd be like, and you. And I'm like, oh my God, she's going for it.
I don't know why. Every once in a while, like Lauren, if somebody's like saying something she doesn't agree with, she'll typically like respectfully be like, nah. You're like, nah. I'm trying to keep peace for the most part, but every once in a while they let me out my cage. And by they, I mean me. And I'm just like, ruff, 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 ruff.
Yes. And then she'd be like, I'm speaking directly. And those are the early episodes.
I
There's an
can't.
episode where
I
we
can't.
both just cry. Like, I don't know if you want to find that one.
Yeah, no, I don't
We're
listen to
not
our.
going to queue up a
I
clip from that one, but there's 45 minutes of us crying at each other, but
Yeah, you're
not today.
welcome.
Today, we have grown to be podcasters that I am proud of. We've
Yes.
been through a lot. We've had like progression and regression, but so is life. Like I feel
Yes.
as though you're never doing this upward like climb.
It's
You're
not just a
doing
climb, Miley.
you're doing the mamba. You're doing a little. You're two-stepping forward and backwards.
Yeah.
So
Cha-cha.
that's been our journey. And here we are again to say that we've beat all odds. You've broken your leg once accidentally and
Once on
twice.
purpose.
Yeah, and then
Twice maybe on purpose.
this time was purposely.
Yeah. I asked for it.
And there's been so many illnesses, there's been hospitalizations, there's been vacations, there's been, like graduations and us, pursuing other things while we do this. But here we are, still
It's been
here.
a ride.
So this is the About Me episode. And if honestly, how long have we been talking? If you don't know everything you need to know,
I think we should end it here.
Thank you for coming to the About Me
And that's about
episode.
us.
Roll out the music, Kenny. Do your own psychological analysis of
Figure
the
it
last
out.
7
I'll
minutes.
give you our birth charts, and you guys figure it out.
I'll give you our birth charts and our alien abduction photos, and
What
the rest.
more do you want?
The details are yours. So I'm not gonna lie, I've never done a birth chart. First,
Well, I could tell by how many times I had to ask you for it.
how many times you have to ask me? You're like, what fucking time were you born,
Well,
Lauren?
no, at one point I was like, I will do your birth chart.
So there's
Just
two
tell
versions
me.
of me. There's two versions of me, and they can coexist, I think. There's the version of me where's the group leader, and like I am fucking annoying. I'm like, why aren't you fucking doing what you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Yeah.
and then there's the version of me that's the back of the group, just wants to put their name at the bottom sometimes.
She was here. She showed up this week.
She's the worst. And I know when she's coming out because you, my husband, my mother,
There will
and
be
my other
time.
best friend, okay? That's my top 4 on MySpace. We'll get to the point where you're so nudgy that you're like, Lauren, do the bare bones of what I asked and I'll do the rest. Like,
Lauren, honest to God, obviously I have like your mom's phone number. I was like, I think yesterday there was a point where I said, I think I'm going to text Chris what time her daughter was born because this simply is not working.
I don't even know if my mom's brain would go to you doing like witch shit. She'd be like, what is Stephanie making for Lauren?
She's such a sweet girl.
Is she
making
her an embroidered pillow with her birthday and time of birth on it?
I just wanted it to be special.
I feel like she would just give it to you, but she wouldn't even like, and that's a problem. I should probably be like, hey.
I'd be like, and also, Chris, I need her social security number. It's for the podcast.
She'd be like, so cute.
You're such a good friend. Stay out of trouble.
Here you go. You want a picture of the card? But so I'll talk to my mom about that later. Nobody else asked my mom for my social security number.
She will give it.
But I can be so like I can have such ADHD paralysis, and I should be like, I should really do that thing for Steph that she told me to do, but my body and mind will not allow me to do it. So finally,
she her heels down.
When was it? Last night? The day?
No, it was last night.
It was last day night. It was 4 p.m., but it was dark in New England.
I sent you a page of text. If you're looking at the YouTube, it's all me, paragraphs. And then she goes at 6:54, 11 p.m.
Mind you, Rudies, I would like to come to the stand, okay? I'd like to get a judge out here. I was crafting in a way that I almost sectioned myself this weekend, I did a DIY.
Yeah, you were doing the Grandpa Joe bit. Like, all I have are my hands.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, right? You are physically, like, kept at home. That's on Stephanie. She's going to fight me through the podcast.
That's the other Steph where she's like, what?
but
Say it to
you
my
are
face.
physically like confined, okay?
Sure.
And my fucking mentally unwell brain said, "You know what? That seems kind of nice. Maybe I
No, parts of it are kind of
I'm
nice.
like mentally I should probably be kept, for a
Yeah.
weekend to
Home.
sort
And
myself
financially,
out.
maybe.
Financially, mentally, and like I don't know, just like immunologically,
Yeah, exactly. We're all just trying to survive.
biologically, I'm like it Thanksgiving went well, right? I'm like my parents only fought the whole time.
Yeah,
So I'm
but
like that was
that's
nice.
Thanksgiving.
And everybody was able to attend and alive. So then
Yeah.
I'm like pause.
You're like, good,
I'm like,
blessed.
pause. Christmas is on its way. So many Christmas activities. Christmas starts like December 11th, I think. Never
Ridiculous.
forget.
Never, never forget.
And I'm like, I'm just going to keep my family home. That, like, it feels the best right now to, like, mentally recharge, you
Yes.
know? So the
Yes.
best way that I can dock myself, like an Apple Watch, is just to fucking start violently cutting cardboard, okay? And this is my excuse of not answering Stephanie. If anyone forgot what I was talking
I know.
about, I'm still
Simply
there.
cannot. I simply cannot. But go
So I
ahead.
was cutting cardboard and making a fucking village.
She's just cutting out. I hate
And the thing
Stephanie.
about looking at my phone is once I look at my phone, I look at it for so long. They need to invent something that you can talk to your friends on, but it doesn't have the internet, and it's called a house phone.
I was gonna say it's almost like a
And
smartwatch. It's
our
giving
mothers
smartwatch.
used to like our mothers would do a craft with us like this. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, Cindy. Oh yeah.
At
Oh
one
yeah.
point, attached to the wall. At one
Yeah."
point, attached to the damn
She
wall.
knew her perimeter.
She did.
Now, if I answer my friend, I'm accused of like searching the internet because I end up there every time. I'm like, oh my God, a package
Oopsie.
is coming. And then I'm like, oh my God, a deal. Oh my God. I'm like,
But
whose
story of my life.
cousin
And
is that?
I'm not innocent of this either. Like, there's been things Nora's been doing recently where, like, you ask her to do something, and then, like, 30 seconds later, you look at her and she's singing a song, and Luke's like, she gets that from you. I'm not innocent here, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying if so, but then I also have this side of me that is fueled by anxiety and like disappointing people. So there's
Yeah.
this other side of me that's like, I have to tell them where I'm born, what time I was born, what was
Well,
my first word.
finally
She might want
kicked
to
in.
know.
She finally kicked in, and I felt so bad. And there was so much going on the screen, and I'm like, the only response is my birth
The
time.
only
Like,
response was
I
11 p.m.
can't make up a fucking story about cardboard right now, like I did for the Rudies. So
I
I
knew
was
where
like,
you
I have
were.
to figure out when the fuck I was born.
I saw your little bubble pacing around your house. I'm like, she's
Oh,
okay.
and my mom gave me like all this extra information also. So then this is she puts.
She's like, it was
I didn't even
warm,
respond to
but
my
not
mother.
too warm.
I was like, mother. I said, what time was I born? She put 11 p.m. I put thank you. And then she put I was rushed in for a C-section around 9:30. By the time they cut
Your
you out,
mother's telling her birth story, and you're just like, do,
it
do,
was 11.
do,
I
do,
said,
do.
Steph has me doing a birth chart for the pod.
She's snitching. She's
Wait. And
tattling.
she puts, and I was in labor for you for about 26 hours and never dilated more than a
Shut.
centimeter. Not
I
sure if you
am
have to add
done.
that, but I figure I'd give you that little tidbit.
Well, you know what?
LOL.
When I put in
I
your birth
didn't
chart,
answer
they
her.
did.
I ha it.
When I put in your birth chart, they did ask, how far dilated was your mother when you were.
I bet you could find out more shit
Well,
that way.
fortunately, I know a lot about you, Lauren, because then it was like, you need the full birthday, which I know the month and day, but then I have to think, I'm like, I'm the end of the year, she's the next year. And then they're like, and where was she born? And thank God I know. Like,
We were
thank
all
God I
born in
know.
the
Because
same place.
I never would have got another answer out of you.
I honestly was thinking, like, should I Google what you have to put into a birth chart? Because I didn't even make mine.
So I was curious because we're not like these girlies that know everything about the signs. I wish I could be that girl that like just knows everything about everything, but we're dabblers. We're
Yeah. And
certified
if
dabblers.
somebody's being like a bitch, I'll be like, "Oh, you're such a fucking Sagittarius." You
Yeah,
know, like if I
exactly. I'm like,
know their
Scorpio?
sign,
Hmm.
if I know your sign and you're acting like an asshole, I'll
I will
act like it's real.
weaponize it. That's where my knowledge their lie is right
Yes.
there.
Yes, and
But
it's also like a very neutral, it's a Switzerland conversation. So I'll
yes,
bring it up at the hospital. But then I honestly, when I bring it up at the hospital, I realize how much I don't know about it because people will be like Aquarius and I'm like,
awesome. I'm
water.
like, I only know Capricorns.
Water. So yeah,
I'm
so
like, I
this was
only
a
know
lot
little
for
about
me to know,
me.
like to know my planet and all of that was a lot. My
It's a
moon.
lot. It's a
I
lot.
still
But
don't even understand what it means.
so,
Like
so
I
essentially, each
I'm
of
in
the
the breakdown side by side chart comparison that you made us. So
you're so annoying.
if you skip ahead to chapters 27,
Oh my
it's
god, I
the
am
most
done.
it's the most digestible for me.
Yes. So I'm trying to find my
So
own
I just thought
notes.
I was a Taurus, right? And I give Taurus energy.
And that's your son.
And that's my sun. So
That's your
the whole
son.
time we've only been focusing on the suns.
We've only been focusing on our sons, but there are other signs in listen, in other houses, and they're supposed to be like guiding like your relationships, your aura, your what you show to people versus what you feel inside. Like it's supposed to just really break it all down. It's written in the stars. So we're going to feed into the woo woo today,
And you're a
friends.
Capricorn. We
I'm a
were both born
Capricorn.
with horns.
That makes sense.
MGK wrote that
Born with
song about
horns.
us.
That makes sense. And I feel like our personalities come through very clearly. So the skeptic in me was like, well, let's see if it's written in the stars. Well, and honestly, I do think that it was pretty spot on. So I want to find a part. Let me see. Hold on. Hold with me. Hold
I
on
liked when
for
it called
me.
me cozy, loyal, and stable.
Oh
Because
my
I'm like,
God,
I've
where
been
did you see
working on
that?
it. I've been working on it.
So your sun is in Taurus. It calls you cozy, stubborn, nostalgic, loyal, snack motivated, and aesthetically gifted.
Which, like, I am an uncontrolled snacker, and I don't know why,
How they
like,
knew.
only gets
It
my
was that
side.
moon in Aquarius.
Like, I don't eat for the most part. Like, catch me with no plate, but
Yeah,
I can snack.
Brazen.
I'm a grazer. I'm
Yeah,
like Lukey that I don't know that I've snacked too hard till it's too late. So
exactly.
I don't know why snacks is one of the main parts of my personality.
No, but
But
honestly,
they knew
it
by 11
checks.
p.m. in my mom's dilation.
They saw right through you.
Okay,
So,
so what was yours?
so mine, let's see. I'm trying to so I did this. I really should have organized this better. It's almost like
That's
I
why
just,
I liked the side by side chart. I'm
I
at my
don't see
big
a side by
three.
side chart.
When you go to page 158 of your
Stop that.
document, it says Lauren's big three.
My God.
By the
Wait,
way, I literally worked on this. Okay, so if you want to have a backstory about me
go.
being a fucking nostalgic snacker, cozy queen, I woke up at 1 a.m. I was pissed, Steph, pissed because my husband let me sleep. I'm like, how dare
You
you
fell
let me
asleep
sleep?
early.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if this is just a bit that me and you do or if other people do this, but like, the night is my time. When
Yes,
I
me
fall
too.
asleep early, I am pissed
Me
mostly.
too.
Like, and it's accidental every time, and it's putting to sleep one of those other fucking
Yeah,
heathens.
I'm never being responsible and being like, I'm going to go to bed early tonight.
No, it's totally an accident. I wanted to be up raging till 1 a.m. So when do my eyes pop open? 1 a.m. 1 a.m. And my husband was just getting into bed, okay? And that sounds scandalous, but I know. I
He was
know he was just working on his creative projects. He was feeding his fucking soul and desire down in this stew, okay?
yes.
While I fucking slept like an asshole upstairs. So I woke up at 1 a.m. stuff. 1 a.m. My fucking claws hit the floor.
Stop it.
There's like nobody to yell to, so I don't make any noise because I don't know how loud I am. And then I scurry downstairs. I watch an episode of Yellow Jackets and I fucking learn about birth charts till 3 o'clock in the morning.
As you
Like it's
should.
the college finals. I'm like, I have time in the morning.
She's like, no,
So,
I'll pull it all-nighter. It's fine.
so your son is Capricorn.
My son is Capricorn.
So what's your vibe?
So it's probably so Capricorn of me to be annoyed by my own vibe. It's saying that I have CEO energy, but exhausted, structured, responsible, tries to pretend they're unbothered, but is currently so bothered. Which, like, I'd rather be like
It's not you at
I'd
all.
rather be like she loves snacks, you know?
Hey, that's not you at
What the
all.
You know, okay, rude. Let's see what my moon is about.
No,
Apparently,
but on the mic it says that I'm a grounding presence. She's the will spiral, but let's finish our food first. And I'm like, why does it keep talking
why
about
does
me
it keep
eating
bringing up
food?
the snacks? One of my favorite comparisons of our birth chart is that, hold on. So it calls me a responsible rebel, but I feel like that is pretty accurate. Like I am always trying to push the boundaries,
But it
but
says
I'm thinking,
our dynamic together with our sons is that it says stable, earthy, productive duo. Earth sign besties are elite. So like I like that it says that we're a productive duo because I think as a single, that's where
well,
I
we've said this before. I would never have a solo podcast. I
am
mean,
so
come
good at
on.
disappointing myself. And
Yeah.
like,
But for Lauren, I'm like, I don't want to let Lauren down.
exactly. I would have never told Lauren that I was born at 11 p.m.,
Never.
But
Never.
you, it was like 3 to 8 business days, just like Wayfair.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
But
I
it's
liked
pretty
that.
spot
And then
on.
I don't really understand a moon because I'm like, a moon feels like, I don't know.
I didn't even ask about that. There's a
But like,
part. You go.
no. There's so many moons. That's the
There
part
are.
I don't
No,
understand.
there
That's
are.
why I like the side by side comparison because it says my emotions and inner self are the moons, but then the fucking birth chart gives you like 18 moons. You're like, that seems, borderline personality
And
disorder. Why do I have so many? And then when you do the side by side chart, it says that I'm an Aquarius moon
yeah.
and you're a Virgo moon, which I always say that like I do not see myself as a fire sign in any
Mm-hmm.
capacity. So I saw that I'm really not. Most of me is like water, and then I've got a little bit of what is a Scorpio? Earth.
Scorpio. Let me see.
I'm mostly water and earth, I
It
think.
is a water.
Yeah.
It is a
So
water. So
I guess I was right about that internally, but
the part
our
was
moons
yes, our moods,
are both like it says we both process emotion through logic first. So we're low drama and we're high understanding.
which is so
Yours says
true.
that you're analytical and helpful and observant and an anxious caretaker.
What? What?
Some would say. And then mine says that I'm emotionally independent, witty, logical, and I hate clinginess.
Honestly, yeah,
The energy for mine says, I love you, but please don't touch me while I'm thinking. And like, honestly,
I believe. Call me a believer.
let's get out the seance candles. But I feel like it's very true that we're very similar with a different approach.
Yes,
So like this birth chart definitely validates that.
I thought so too.
There
And
is a part where it calls Scorpio, it calls me secretive. And I'm like, honestly, I don't like a secret. I think I'm
yeah,
forgetful, but
yeah, like maybe unintentionally.
yeah, this one I feel like it got us. It calls you a fun, chaotic fairy scientist. Okay, for our rising signs. If no one's following, this is our fucking rising signs. I hope
Thank
you
you,
still have your
Lauren.
fucking capes out.
She's
And
breaking it
then
down beautifully.
mine, it calls me a mysterious witch core main character,
That feels right.
right? And then it says one of you draws attention with weirdness, the other with depth. Perfect podcast mix. It doesn't tell us which one. I'm like, you better not. You
Yeah,
better
don't make us
not.
fight about it.
Don't make us fight about who's weird.
But when you break it down with our compatibility with the Capricorn and the Taurus, it is really like I do think it matches up with us. It calls us stable, humble brag, loyal. It says that we're good at working together as a team and we love a plan and a good snack.
Lauren Lauren will be chewing on something eventually
We're about
for
to record.
ASMR.
And she's like, let me just finish these couple of nuts, please. She's a
There was
handful of nuts. Where did they come from, Lauren?
a little about Lauren. There was a while where I would eat up until we recorded, like basically just bingey, and then Steph would be like, "Are you done?" I'd be like, "Almost."
Yeah, she's.
But I like it, and I like that we don't really like we don't have the same take. We come from very different places. We come
We
from
do.
different backgrounds. We come from different types of mothering. But like when you boil it down, we're the same personality.
Yes.
We would have the same MySpace layout and a similar song choice.
100%.
And I love
100%.
that. I love that we didn't grow too far.
Me too.
Um and I don't know. I feel as though it says like who we attract. I don't think I attract Capricorns, you know. I think that
Do
you're
you have other
probably
Capricorn friends?
nope. My best friend is a Gemini, which is psychotic.
Nora's
I
also a
love
Gemini, your
to
little
hate on
bestie.
Geminis. You're like, you guys are fucking and Lasky too.
And don't they look like they'll be so sweet? You know?
Geminis are the cutest people. If you see
Look at
somebody
them.
cute, they're a Gemini. Like they
Underneath
have
it,
like
they're like,
well, they have like those big doe eyes. They're like that bunny from like Secret Life of Pets, the one that
yeah.
who plays him, Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
And he's like, and then they pick him up like, don't touch
And
me.
then there's a knife in their little bunny pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And then my
know?
husband is a Sagittarius, and Sagittarius are my favorite. Like they're my favorite ones to marginalize. I'm always like, you guys, like if I'm gonna be
Signs
discriminatory
by
about
Lauren.
anything, about anything, okay, I'm not. It's never gonna be about who you are as a person, what you look like, the
Oh.
color of your skin, your background. It's gonna be about your fucking sign, okay? Because that had nothing to do
Me
with
and
you.
Luke with our Capricorn horns. Just
We're not even sure if it's entirely real. Let me hate on you. So the
Yeah.
Sagittarii, I love to
And
be
she
mean
loves
to
to
them.
mess with a Sagittarius.
Because when you look up like a blatant Sagittarius like explanation, it's like they're fucking crazy and they'll love you and they'll kill you and they'll make you into a lamp. You know, like it's always Jeffrey Dahmer was definitely a Sagittarius.
Oh my
He probably
God.
wasn't.
Now
Have you
I
ever
need to
looked
know.
up the signs of the serial killers? Not a single fucking Taurus on there.
Gemini,
single-
Jeffrey Dahmer.
He was cute. It makes sense.
He was cute.
He was cute. Till he wasn't.
Wait,
See, our
Zodiac
point
signs
fucking
of serial killers. This wasn't on my notes, friends, but
you've never made a birth
Ted
chart.
Bundy, Sag.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I never even made my own birth chart, okay?
Guess what? Guess what? Not one damn Capricorn on this
Or
list.
Taurus. There's not a Taurus on there.
There's not a Taurus on here. It's all Sag, Gemini, and Virgos. That's and a couple Pisces in there. That is it.
Psychos. They're the two
Psycho.
psychos.
You guys
This is
cannot have a
science, everyone,
podcast.
okay? So, yeah, they're the
Listen.
group that I marginalize the hardest. So, whenever anybody's like, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And look at that.
Says,
I
wait.
love when I make up
Says-
facts and then they
and
turn
it's
out
true.
to be true.
There's nothing better. There's literally
Follow
nothing.
us. Follow our certain
better.
episodes to join our cult.
Oh my
So-
God. I just found this side by side. Am I okay?
You literally fucking made this, Stephanie, and you're making it
Well,
look
that's
like I
something
made
about
it.
me. That's something about me.
I probably maybe made it. That's something about me. 3 a.m. So it also says that our Mars, which your Mars is your drive, your conflict, and your motivation. So
That's when I
thought
turn
that this
into a serial killer. That's when I'm a Sag.
So it calls you an enthusiastic firecracker. It says that you're impulsive, adventurous, and you'll try anything once.
I tried bouldering once.
Do what you will with that. It calls me protective, defensive, and fights for people she loves. And then it says that you're an enthusiastic firecracker and I'm a mama bear with emotional claws.
Vibes,
And then
yes.
it says that you jump in and I step in. And I would, when I
That's
read
so valid. Because if you saw me drowning in a fight, you'd be like, "Whoa, hold the fuck up."
when I read this one, I was like, I would love to see like some fucking 16-year-old bitch in the welcome center. You know,
Oh my
like
god.
you know how it would be like 7:30 in the morning and everyone would be fighting at school?
Yes.
And it'd be like right where you entered school. They'd be like,
Yes.
"This is the welcome center." They'd be like, "You fucking look at me." Love to see us as a duo.
I
Because
know.
once again, my best friend was a Gemini. Okay. So we got into some fights.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to see us. I think we would have really got together with logic and we would have
We
shot
would have
people
taken them
down.
down. It would
We would
have
have
been
started our podcast in high school.
we would.
We
We
would have
would
been
have
like, "Can you just maybe take a look at yourself here?"
Yeah.
You know?
Look at
And
though. How about that?
but yeah, so when I thought about our Mars, I just thought about us fighting with people, which we don't really have the opportunity these days. Like I
Yeah.
really
Honestly, someone give me no, don't give me. Don't give me a reason. But I'm itching, you know?
but our overall compatibility was 12 out of 10. It calls us soul contract friends, which I'm like, put it on a fucking
Literally.
t-shirt.
Put it on the next t-shirt.
Um,
A chaotic magical duo.
right? I'm like,
I
thank
mean,
you, birth chart. That's so nice of
it
you to
calls me the
say.
planner. That feels right. She's the
And
anchor.
there is a part where it says that you're a fast talker, and I'm like, birth chart,
You mixed us up once.
I can
Because
talk and snack.
I'll go on a short little thing, but the one with the longevity, that's Lauren.
Yes, and I
That's
am a
Lauren.
it calls you the chaotic narrator, whereas I feel like I am a good narrator. I can bring us along, but I'm the
Yes,
fucking Mad Hatter while we're there.
for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
like
when you're there, you're like, and here's this wall and that wall.
I'm like, this is a side story for the side story. Whenever we're
But you
talking,
remember where you started most of the time.
yes, I'll bring it back.
I
Whenever we're
don't.
talking to our husbands, they start to look at us like this isn't about what we were talking
They
about. And I'm like,
realize that
follow us.
Luke
Follow
said that to
along.
me the other day. He was like, I'm just trying to get a word in, Steph. And I was like, I forgot you were there. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. When me and Lauren get together, we are chaos. I'm sorry.
And the thing is that they want to have business meetings because we're a business, all right?
We're the
I
talent.
yeah. You know, I am a rich man, mama.
Yeah, I am a rich man. But I don't.
And they want us to have this fucking they want us to shut off our silly switch, which they married silly geese. They're managing silly geese. And then they want us to have a fucking business meeting and like I'm making a joke to Steph directly, not to them.
Just trying to giggle, just like literally just having a conversation.
And they're
They
like, "Can you
interrupt
just
us.
stop?"
They interrupt us, on our sidebar, on our side quest.
I'm like, "No, this means something for
Yeah.
the ads, okay? It means something, all right? Steph will get it, you won't. Carry on."
This is about the business.
Like,
Continue.
we're bringing it back. So,
Yeah.
and then it says that I'm the wait, back up, start over, which I feel like I'm not sometimes. I feel like I'm just like abandon it, scrap
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we don't need it. She's dead to us.
Yeah,
She's
in a
dead to
plane
us.
crash. Lately, I've just been thinking about myself in a plane crash, like
Me too.
it's not really making me want to book,
A
next year's
flight.
vacation.
I know. I was like, we haven't been to Disney in a few years, but I've been watching a lot of Yellow Jackets.
And every time I put myself, like, my personality into, like, thought, I'm like, what would it be like in a plane crash? Like, I don't know. That's who I am when I watch a show. When I
You're like,
watch
if
a
I
show,
crashed with these items, how
like,
far
if
could I
you
get?
saw me during Orange is the New Black, I was like, this close to getting a, like, insensitive hairdo.
Honestly, there's a difference. If I crashed, if I was a 16, 17, 18-year-old, what's in my bag? A couple tank tops.
Well, that's the thing about memory is it's subjective. So I like to remember myself as right now, small right now. When
If I
I'm in a
crashed
plane
in my
crash.
30s, I have a full medicine cabinet in my suitcase.
Yeah.
I've got it all. So
Well, they show the caboodle,
They
they
do
show
show a
the caboodles,
caboodle.
and what they have in there is lackluster. I would
is.
have enough fucking Tylenol PM
just to
to
get
get
through,
us through winter,
get through the winter.
but it'd really just be for a week-long trip. Um, but yeah, so that's how I've been thinking of myself. So whenever you hear us talking about a plane crash, know that we're just really invested in yellow jackets
We
right
are.
now.
We are.
And
We're
it'll be
not
something else.
manifesting.
I'll put myself mentally somewhere else soon. And I
But
can
not
never
now.
watch a happy show,
I
and
can
I know
never.
that
That's
we
another thing about us.
we ramble on about that over and over. So yeah, so I learned now that I'm a Taurus sun,
A Taurus sun.
Aquarius moon,
Wow.
and a Scorpio rising.
Oh my God. Can you read mine? Because I lost it again.
And and everyone, I did all this research by myself. Steph's a big chaotic loof.
Yeah, I'm a
It calls
chaotic
you a loof in one
planner.
of them too. I was like, don't talk about my friend like that.
She's very loof, okay?
She's so loof. I don't even know what it means, but she's a fucking loofah of a person.
Don't talk about my sister like
All right,
that.
you're a Capricorn sun, Virgo moon,
Oh.
and Aquarius rising.
So someone that knows more about birth charts, just message us. Tell us. Tell us a
And
little
I do
something.
feel like these things like show up in me. So I
I do
mean,
too.
like how we communicate. You're a Sag Mercury. Sketchy. It says you spiral, you have tangents, and you have an unhinged story type.
Fair.
Me, Taurus Mercury. I'm slow, grounded, and I reality check friends. See, that's the part where I'm like, I am not slow. I am a fast talker.
She is. Maybe a
Yeah.
slow responder. Maybe that's what they
But
were tickling at.
I will say that when you're spiraling, I'm like, I do try to be like,
She
okay,
does.
we're
Sometimes I
okay.
don't let her.
Remember that
Sometimes
time where I
don't
was
let her.
Remember that time where I was like, "You're okay, Steph," and you were like, "You're a fucking bad friend." You're
I
telling
literally
me.
was like, you're stop being a bitch to me. And why do you hate me? Stop telling me everything's fine.
Like, if you cared about me, I just think you would
That's the
tell me
Sag
that
in
my
me. I
life
don't know.
my life was shit, and you would care. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, I have nobody
Oh my
to fact
God.
check this, but I don't think that that's how it works. But I
I
mean,
might.
I enjoyed it. I would
I did
love to
too.
learn more about it, but like, I don't have the time. I'd also
No,
love
I
to
don't have
learn.
the time or the attention span.
I think that I'd love to learn like a tad bit more about this, dabble in it, and then dabble in like tarot, be able to give somebody a really shitty reading
For
and call it
sure.
a day.
That's a goal of mine.
Call myself a
Call it my
witch.
New Year's resolution.
I'll surround them with like $100 in stones that I have
I'm going
and
to trade
sage.
out felts for tarot cards next.
Make felt tarot cards.
Oh my God. Stop, Lauren.
You're
Don't put that
welcome.
idea in my head.
You're fucking welcome.
You know I will.
So the next part, the next part of our About Us episode, if you're still here, come back down to earth.
We're
Beam
sorry,
us down.
Sages.
Beam us down. Is a little Q&A. And I
Yes.
wrote out my answers this time around because
And I didn't.
I happened to be up at 3 a.m., you know. I'm an Alexander Hamilton. I was just writing.
Go back to sleep.
So, the first question. What OG Bath and Body Works scent did you identify with as a girl?
This
as
says a lot
girl?
about a person. It does.
And
I was
yeah,
a cucumber melon girl. Like,
I had a feeling you were a cucumber melon girl.
well,
So, this says a lot
what
about
were
me,
you?
but I
What were you?
almost never had one in my bag. Like my mom would buy me all of them. You know, if she was here, she'd be like, "We were there every time I had a coupon." But I never never brought one in my bag. So I usually smelled like whatever my friend was bringing, which honestly says so much about me. But the one scent, which was a cucumber melon. I feel like Brooke was a cucumber melon girl. I feel like Amanda, we were probably using Victoria's Secret by then, but I feel like she would hold down a
But
cucumber melon vibe.
like there were warm vanilla sugar girls out there.
Yeah,
There
I
were
would
Japanese
not.
cherry blossoms. Like
I was rolling adjacent to the vanilla sugar girls, so we
Yeah.
smelled like a really
disgusting cocktail.
sweet veggie tray. I don't know.
It was different back then.
We smell like if you accidentally dip the veggies in the marshmallow fruit dip. It
You're like,
was
why is no
gross.
one talking to us?
Why won't this boys look
Talk
at
to
us?
us. And they're like, ooh.
Like we smell like toxic chemicals. But I literally would run to Yankee Candle for the sexy man candle, the midnight summer. Remember?
My God.
Midsummer dream.
I was a midsummer, the black candle.
Oh God. I
Or the black
literally
ice air freshener, the black tree. It's
yes.
like, I'm not a regular girl.
Yes. So I feel like yeah. My room smells
I'm a manly girl.
my room my room smells like a car dealership.
You're welcome. It's hot. It's hot in here. You're welcome for coming.
So yeah, that was like the scent that I could really just identify with right away was sexy man.
Sexy
Sexy
man and
salesman.
cucumber melon. Okay, if you were a dip, what would you be?
This one was so hard. Okay.
Really?
So hard. Cause I fucking love dip.
I
Like
do too.
I love it. And I
I
take
do.
it seriously. And I have so many that are my favorites.
But who are
So
you?
I think I'm the olive oil with the red peppers. Like
Oh, for the
delicious, right? Like
bread.
you got a good piece of bread, you dip it, but every once in a while you choke. Every once in a while I'll choke ya.
Tonight I'm reading these out loud because Luke's like, "What are you guys talking about tomorrow?" I'm like, "We're doing about me," and I'm like, "Here, you can look at the questions, because I don't want to read them out to him." And he's looking and he goes, "Well, the dip is so easy." And I was like, "It's so easy." He goes, "You're obviously a buffalo cauliflower dip." And I was like, "You know what?" He's
You
like, "You're
are.
a spicy vegetarian." And I was like, put it on my next Instagram bio. Hand stuffed Steph, spicy vegetarian.
It's
Like
it's an OnlyFans.
if you don't know everything about me by that, then you never will. But
You
that I
never
think it
will.
makes sense. A buffalo cauliflower dip. I love it. It's
Yeah.
like you said, every once in
Yes.
a while.
Yeah, and then the other one I was thinking of is like a real hearty spinach. You know when you go to a
Oh,
party and like the spinach dip is like in a like cored out piece of bread and you're like
oh
that's a good
yeah. It's
one.
hearty.
And it's fluffy and you don't see a lot at the top, but then when you
Yeah.
get in there it's got like you're
It
dipping your
has
veggies
depth.
in other veggies. Yeah. It's
That's
got
you.
depth. I feel like we could be that one too, but I do
Yes.
like a good like all of a sudden you're choking on a red pepper, you're choking
There's
on a
gotta be a little bit
cauliflower.
of spice.
All right. What is your trashy trifecta? You're going to Cumbies, three things. Honestly, I didn't really have to make this up. This is like
No. No. And like all
this is a
obviously
real move for me.
vary, but like most common, I would say if you're gonna go drink salty sweet, that's where my head went. I'm going a Sprite, a Dorito, and then a Reese's. Those would be my top three of the categories. Sprite, Dorito, Reese's.
Okay.
What are you
I went
getting?
I went Slim Jim because I
Oh,
fucking love Slim
you
Jims.
and
Like
Lukey both.
they're so gross. I don't need to hear about how they're gross. I know they're gross, okay? So is fucking kale.
Yeah, exactly. To each
But
their own.
Slim Jims, and I'd get a 2-pack because I'm a thrifty gal. The
Yeah,
ones that
and
are
she's a
like stuck
snacker.
together. Boom, a duo. And they're always like one you'd really like. They're like teriyaki and like they're like in
Uh,
our new flavor,
is
brown
the Slim
sugar
Jim the
maple. And you're
round
like,
straw shaped one, not the flat one?
oh, I want a round straw shaped
She
one.
wants the one that's shaped like a straw. Got it.
Yeah. And it has like a maple brown sugar flavor
Oh.
attached to it. And you're like, I don't know,
It's
but you're
just
into
you and
it.
Lukey in that 2-pack somewhere.
Yep. A Celsius. A Celly. A tall
Sally.
boy blue. If we're being
Oh,
specific.
she's trash.
And then I'm such trash
She's
because
trash.
literally this is me like on a given Tuesday after a rough call. Just me and Lasky.
A
I'm like,
Slim Jim, a Sally.
I'm literally letting the boy that's like refilling the slushy machine babysit Alaska.
Just keep an eye on her.
We're on our way to story time. I'm like, I got $10 in my wits. And then the cheddar French fries that have the man on the side of the bag that looks like he's a Charlie Brown character, but he's not a Charlie Brown character.
No.
The cheddar fried chips.
Cheddar fried chip.
Let me see. I get them all the time.
Oh, this guy.
Yes,
See,
him.
these were at my school store and everybody loved them. For whatever reason, they were not for me.
They were a fucking like
They were a high school thing, though.
yes, and I felt like they were a delicacy. Like they were nowhere that I shopped or my
No,
parents shopped. They were only like at the like little sketchy, 5 Mart.
for sure.
And that's why I love them. But
I
yeah,
love
that's
that.
like that was a no-brainer for me, you know.
Were you a movie quoter growing up? Me too. What was your, like, what were you over quoting?
I overquote still Fight Club. I love Fight Club.
I
And
feel
then the other one for me, I was like, what do you got going on over there?
fucking Rowena. I
Just
just
some
can't.
snake charming. Um and then the other one was like Step Brothers.
I was gonna say Step Brothers was a huge one, and before Step Brothers, I quoted the shit out of Napoleon Dynamite, and like
Yeah.
thinking back to myself then, like me now would be so annoyed by me then, but
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, like I was always like Tina, you fat lord, like
Yeah.
all the time, all
Knocked
the
Up
time.
too. I loved
Knocked Up
quoting
was a
Knocked
good
Up.
one.
When she's like, have you ever she's like, I Googled murder the other day.
Exactly.
She's like,
But
why did you do that?
big movie quoter, and I'm sure there were more, but that's kind of like the ones that I feel like stand out. Now, your high school bedroom, I wanted to bring it back a little bit to the high school times, versus the now times. What was your room messy? Was it colorful? What was the vibe?
My parents, looking back, I'm like, we financially could have done so much better if I would have just kept to one room theme. You
It
know,
was all those
we were
paints.
fine. We were 90s middle class, which is
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
You went on 2 vacations a year.
It's different
But
than 25 middle class.
if I left the room theme alone, I feel like we could have been,
3 vacations.
we could have had one of those intercom systems in our house. Remember you went over to a friend's house and they had an intercom system and you were like, this is
I
nice.
don't
Did you
think I
ever
had a
get
friend with an intercom system. How fancy.
I did have a friend with an intercom system. I was like,
Wow.
wow, your mom's voice is playing in the upstairs hallway. We can
That's so
still barely
decom.
hear her. But
I'm
we
like, my
know
mom
she's
just yells.
mad. Yeah, I'm like, my mom,
Just yells.
Italian. We don't need
Yeah,
this.
I don't know.
But I did change violently and I loved a bright color.
Me
I
too.
remember once I went from like this like fucking orange peel orange to like to like purple dark berry, and I know that we align on both having dark berry purple rooms. And I think about the paint aisle now and I think about how timid I am to grab a
Because
deep
I've been
color.
burned. Because I've been burned.
And they say, they're like, oh, millennial gray, millennial gray. Well, my parents let me fucking paint my room the colors of the wind. And you know what it left me with? A fucking mess. You
Yeah.
know?
There is probably like a good half inch of paint coming off of my childhood bedroom is probably a little 1 square foot, smaller with all the
In
layers of
every
paint.
direction.
And I
There's like
was the
beads.
same
Like,
way.
because remember, like, so my parents would hire a painter.
God, I was in there, Lauren.
Oh,
I
no,
was
no. But prior
crazy.
to that, I painted my room alone twice. So there's like drip marks that are trapped in there because it'd be like 9 p.m. You'd get a ride to the local Ace
You'd leave
Hardware,
it. Yeah.
Sears Hardware, I think, where we all paid our credit card bills back in the day. And you'd be like, I have exactly $54 that I made at my $54
You're
job.
like, I need a can of really good paint.
I need fucking extra gloss, extra dark, and you'd just be up to like 10 p.m. with your friend painting your
No
room, no
primer.
primer. You didn't give a shit. You
Caitlin
didn't
was
give a
such a ride
shit.
or die. You know my friend Caitlin because I was this person, and she wasn't there for my earlier years because I had hot pink. I had dark teal. Then I moved on. I was like, I'm grown now. I'm going to do a beige. But then I was like, I'm not that grown. I'm going to paint things over the beige, like flying birds and quotes and things that I feel like I should paint on the wall. And Caitlin would be that friend to come over. We would just put on like songs about Jane, face the opposite way, and just, paint that freaking room. Like that was our jam. But I was always doing things, and I think I think I got away with a lot of it because in high school was really my dad deployed a few times. So like when your dad deploys, you're like, I can fucking get away with this. Like my mom
Yes.
is she's going to choose her battles right now, and I'm not saying it was the right decision, but I'm saying I was a teenager and it felt right to me, okay? And
And
I would staple things onto my wall and my door, like whatever I had, Lauren. I was like, that'll work. A thrifty little raccoon, even in my teen
yes.
years.
And I think we learned this from our foremothers because my dad was overseas fighting hairiness. My dad was an engineer for the good old Gillette. He was keeping America hairless,
He
okay?
was
And he was
important
like,
work.
and he was very important to them because they would steal him away for months at a time to go and build machines in other countries. So, although I
Mhm.
was not an army brat, I feel as though when you have a dad
You
that
can
works,
relate to the dad leaving
when you
and
have a long
asking for
distance
things.
work dad, you just get the fuck what you want. And then he
You
comes home
do.
and he like takes you out for a nice meal. And then you go home and you're like, ha, I painted my room black. What are you
You're like,
going
you're
to
not going to
do?
be mad at me. You just got home. I'm like, Dad, you still have Kuwait dirt on your boots. Stop.
Great, what are you gonna do? And then you're like, and we're eating dinner at the melting pot, and you hate it there.
Like, fire and ice, Dad's home.
Your dad the whole time's like, I don't get why we're eating at a restaurant where we have to make our own food.
I hate coming into the city.
You're like, welcome
You're like, we
home.
love you, Dad.
The the welcome home banner is just like actually glued to the wall.
I can't. I
Um,
can't. But
but
that
yes,
was
I
us.
have a feeling our bedrooms would have been very similar. I had an Edward
100%.
Cullen. I had an Edward Cullen just like fucking
So you're
push
an
pin
Edward.
to
You
the.
were an Edward girl.
I was an Edward
I
girl.
was an Edward girl. I forgot to put that question on here, but that's very important. Edward.
Also, like, I didn't have a lot of boys on my walls. I had more women on
I
my
had a
walls.
good mix, but who was on your wall?
I think that I had Ashley Simpson for a
Vibes.
while. I know I had a Britney Spears, the one where she's like got a
The
snake
chains.
around her.
She was through the chains on
Yeah.
mine.
She doesn't have a snake, it's chains.
She's like,
And she's wearing like a leather, like no top. There's
me and Luke
under
had the same
boob.
poster probably on our wall at that time.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I wasn't getting the assignment of the posters.
No, I was like, I love her.
I'm like, she's so hot.
I
I
had
want
a
to be
little
her.
Chris Brown poster, and then I had a huge Alicia Keys.
Mine was more of an aspirational wall.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
a vision board.
Everyone was like, "Is she a lesbian?" And it was just like a really, really big vision board,
I love that.
with
Yeah.
a dash of maybe bisexual.
Yeah, of course. And who doesn't want that?
But I never had the boys for whatever reason, and I did have a Travis Barker, like a little like. Remember when you'd like get you'd get a magazine for the like.
When they'd have the posters.
Yeah, we're not gonna call it a poster. It was like a 12 by 16 or whatever.
Yes.
I had a Travis Barker one from People that I felt very strongly about.
I feel that. I feel that very much. If it was acceptable, I'd have an MGK one on my wall right now.
Literally in that blank space behind you.
It's MGK and Aubrey Plaza.
It's a vision board.
Next episode.
And lastly, if you could hang out with or switch places with someone for a day, if they're dead or alive, who would it be? First, who would you hang out with?
I couldn't figure this one out. I wrote this question and I was sitting there with Lucas and he was naming these people and I was like, I don't know if I could hang out with them.
So that's the thing, is that if it's gonna be someone dead or
I
alive,
don't need
like
somebody,
hanging out,
you
like
know?
first I'm gonna pick my Nana,
I
over
literally said,
everyone.
Luke, the only person I can think of is my Nana. I was like, but that's, I don't know if that's
That's
what the
because
rules
we're
were.
rising fucking Capricorns,
I was like, I want
setting
to hang
suns
out with
together.
my Nana.
I literally would, because I just feel like it would be so cool to show my Nana all my old
My
lady trinkets
adult
that I
life.
have, and she
Yes.
never got to see my adult life. So
And
I feel
she would
like
see my crafts. I'm so glad you said that because literally, like I said to Lucas, the only person I'm thinking about is my Nana. But I was thinking when I wrote the question along the lines of like a famous person, you know. But I guess I'm a fangirl at heart. But if I'm bringing one person back to life, it's gonna be her, you know.
and then if I had to switch places with someone for a day, this was hard because I was like, you'd obviously want to be somebody like
Cool.
cool, like the
You want to have
coolest
an
of the cool.
experience for a
I don't want to
day.
have a bad day. I'm like, who's out here not having a bad day?
Hmm.
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh. And then you know
Yeah.
what having a penis feels like. So two
Then I know
things.
what having a penis feels like. I know what having a late night talk show feels like.
You'd be a
And like,
natural. You'd be like, I don't need the notes.
I'd be like, I have a penis now. Everyone's going to listen to
Everyone,
me.
shut up.
Shut the
I'm
fuck
gonna
up.
just clip that. I have a penis now.
I have a penis now. Shut the fuck up.
If I was a man, then I'd be the
But
man.
honestly, and think of the insight I would get. Think of because at first I was thinking, like, ooh, who could I be? Who would be like a fun, silly little girl? And like, I
Right.
know what it's like to be a fun, silly little girl. And
You do.
even our funniest, I mean, Life of a Showgirl, T Swift wrote it best. Even our funniest, silliest goose girlies in Boss Baby, categories, they're having bad days.
For
Jimmy
sure.
Fallon's not.
I just don't know that the middle-aged white TV show hosts TV hosts are having bad days. That feels like a
I know.
safe bet. That
I
feels
know
like a
he's
safe
not
bet.
having a bad day.
And I didn't have someone to switch places with. I never got there. I mean,
And I'd want to sing with the Roots.
you know what? I want to know what it feels like too.
How about Jimmy Kimmel? He had a bad day
I'll
recently.
be Jimmy Kimmel. That's fair. That's
If you
fair.
switch places, actually, I changed my mind. I want to switch places with Donald Trump.
You're like, I need one day in that
Because,
office.
well, I want that, that inside out sound that's like, what is going
Going
on
on it
inside
and
of his
yeah.
head? I just want to make some really good
Oh
TikTok
my
content
god.
with that sound, and then I'll be back.
I love it. I love it. It's perfect. Stay rooted TikTok would be so weird that day.
Just me in that new giant ballroom.
And he's like, just listen to Stay Rooted podcast. It's great. It's beautiful.
The best podcast
The best podcast.
ever. It'd be like exactly what he did with that New York mayor. That's exactly what was happening there. They switched places.
It's just him
They
saying, I'm a
Freaky
fascist. I'm a
Friday.
fascist. I'm a fascist.
I would first start by apologizing. I'd apologize all day long. I'd be so sorry. It'd
You
be
just
the
have a
sorriest
sorry.
this country has ever been. I don't even know how he says sorry
I
because
don't
I
either.
have
I
never
don't
heard
have
him
a
say
good
it.
Donnie impression.
I don't have a great one, but I can't even think of a time that he said sorry.
We've never heard it before.
He just had to be like, I'm so sorry. We never heard it. But I think that Stay Rooted potties, the potties, the Rudies know enough about us. The
For
Stay
sure.
Rooted about us, that's enough.
Here we are.
But I
That's
have
about us.
to send us out on a really funny story.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a little about us. So Alaska has a pretend boyfriend, which did this ever happen with Nora? Like,
What do you mean?
so it's a fictional person.
So they're not a real person.
They're not a real person. And she got like this fake letter, in one of her toys that like had like a little, like it looks like an envelope. So it has like a little heart, sticker, and she's holding it. And she's like, this is from Christian. So we're like, okay.
Like, who the fuck is Christian?
And like, mind you, there's like not a Christian in our lives
So I was
other
gonna
than
say there's no
Greg.
Han. It's not like, oh, this is from
Other than
Han.
Mr. Gray, which I have not read 50 Shades of Grey to my children,
Not yet.
yet.
Not yet.
So, and that's about me. But so I'm like, oh, it's from Christian, whatever. So Christian is her fictional boyfriend, which I don't really like. Every time I can think of Lennon making up somebody, it was very like situational, and it always feel a little like she was onto it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but Christian has interests. He does karate. He has input at the store. She'll be like, Christian hates chocolate. And I'm like, well, fuck Christian. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
inviting him over.
I didn't even ask him.
You guys just started dating and you're 3 and he's writing you letters. He's writing you letters.
Not even a physical being.
And he's sliding them into like the LOL dolls. I just don't think this is good for you. So this bit's been going on for probably like 2 weeks. And I've been trying to figure out how I was going to bring it to the pod in a way that was silly and light, but also like, what the fuck, everyone? Is your kid doing this? Does your kid have a fictional boyfriend at 3? So I finally am in the car, and we're talking about something, and she's like, Christian loves that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, Christian loves that music, whatever. So we got home, no more talk about Christian. And that's the thing is that like once she was like making it romantic, we're like, we're not gonna feed this fire.
Yeah.
Like there's certain magic and fun and whimsy that I'll feed into.
Of
But like if
course.
it's your boyfriend that hates chocolate, when I'm shopping, like I'm done,
Yeah, I'm
You're
done
3.
with him.
I'm done. I hate his input. It's
He
mostly
can't come
negative.
over anymore.
So we're at the table, and Lennon's like, being the older sister that she is, she's like, I'm going to draw a Christian. What does he look like? So she's like, he's got long hair and a short shirt and and his pants and his belly's out a little bit and he's got ripped
Is
up
she coming
jeans.
for my husband?
So once again, I'm like, weird. Sounds like MGK, We have similar taste in men, I love a man in a crop top. So now I don't drive a car. We have 2 different cars. One of them is fancy and has CarPlay. And one of them, it's like I'm fucking in the stone. I'm like the Flintstones. I basically have to roll my feet underneath it. So we're in the non-CarPlay. So I do this thing where I like dock my phone like on the windshield. There's like a dock there. And I leave Spotify open. Okay. So let me bring up what was open. It was Sweet Coraline, because that's what she wanted to listen to. Okay. So she has commented before so they make these little fucking weird, like, videos. I don't know what they are. Yeah. Yes. Vines. This is what they're using the Vine software for.
That's where they went.
This is where Vine went. It went to Spotify. So this just plays repetitively, right? Like, oh my God, I need to charge my phone. It's fucking 8:00 in the morning. I never charged it. And we're just watching that on loop. And she has made a comment before that she thought it was her dad jumping over the thing. And I was like, we all wish that was your dad, jumping over the thing.
I think that's my dad.
So I know she's seen it before. And she goes, Mom, it's Christian. We've cracked the code.
Now you know exactly what Christian looks like.
Is the lost Americana.
The lost boy.
The lost boy, MGK. You are my 3-year-old daughter's pen
boyfriend. Fictional boyfriend.
So I just wanted to bring it here because that's your taste in men. It is a little bit about you.
It is a little bit about me.
You and Lasky
and
share
I'm going to have some words with her about Christian because he's taken.
But now when she says something about Christian, it's so much sillier because at first I was thinking of this like little 3-year-old boy writing her romantic letters, and telling her me not to buy fucking Cocoa Crisps,
And you're like, it's not your choice.
Now, when she talks about Christian, I'm just picturing MGK.
7 foot tall MGK next to you and his like you know how he has those big shoes like and big wide pants and belly out. Like his belly's in line with my eyes,
He's
probably.
wearing like that pink fur coat and we're just in Target and
And we're yeah.
he's like, I don't like those waffles.
He's like, I don't like those waffles. I'm like, whatever you say, Daddy.
It's so much easier. So if you are dealing with this, fruities, that's how I'm coping.
Uh,
Write
oh,
me a letter, Christian. Write me a letter.
literally, I've been trying.